So let me just throw the question open to questions. So yeah, we will come to all of you in turn. We just reiterating, keep the questions a little respectful. We are all here for a constructive dialogue, and if a question is addressed to a particular person, please mention who it is addressed to and keep them very brief, preferably a minute at the most, because we want to take as many questions as we can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Guten Abend. Good evening. Respected Sri J.S. Ranjan sir, Sri Karnan sir, and distinguished panelists, organizers and guests. It is a pleasure to be here at Goethe-Zentrum Hyderabad to discuss a topic that directly impacts every single citizen of this city. I am born Hyderabadi and I have been living here, and I feel deeply concerned about the mobility, environment and quality of life. I am here standing to make a small suggestion, not a question. Okay? When we talk about balancing mobility, environment and quality of life, we have to look at the ground reality under our wheels. I want to bring a critical structural metric to this conversation, the carrying capacity of Hyderabad roads. I have researched some in the morning. My name is Govind Raj. I am a visiting professor and a tourism expert. The global standards versus Indian norms. The global benchmark, global planning frameworks like UN Habitat recommends that 30 to 35% of a city's total geographical surface area be allocated to streets and public right-of-way. I wanted to make a suggestion. I, okay. I'll close it in 30 seconds. Okay. I would leave this document with the panelists. The idea is the carrying capacity of our roads. As per my research, the road area in Hyderabad is about 9%, whereas the global recommendation is 30 to 35%. In other cities like Bombay, Bangalore, it is much higher. And again, congestion on the roads is happening because of the vehicles are parked at both sides of the road, thereby reducing the 9% to the 6%. So I kindly request that let us look at the carrying capacity of our roads and try to bring in a mechanism where we can reduce the number of vehicles on the roads. That would be one of the solutions I would suggest. And the another point I would suggest is in the Abbots area, there's a high rise coming, right? Everybody knows. And the infrastructure there is about 100 years back infrastructure, the road, the drainage. So maybe we should look at the FSI issue in Hyderabad also, particularly in the city area, the FSI area. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yeah, there was a young student here.
Hello, sir. So my question was, as you're aware, we have a shortfall of almost 3,000 buses within the Hyderabad urban area. So is there any larger plan beyond the PM e-bus Seva and leasing from women's SHGs to increase the number of buses within the urban area?
Of course, we have a larger plan. We're working with RTC on this one, and we do fund RTC's buses on EV vehicles. So first of all, I told you, the number of buses per lakh population is very, very minimal in our Hyderabad city. So RTC is gearing up. They are going to purchase in a huge number, especially for city services. In a few months, we'll get the see the results in the streets. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. If the goal is to move people and not cars, why are roads being widened to fit cars and not give priority for bus lanes or bicycle lanes?
That's why Sir was mentioning about we want to give importance to not only the vehicles. We have to provide spaces for the pedestrians. We have to provide spaces for bicycle So all these things like the model road concept is about that one only. So we are more designed about the more vehicle is for vehicle movement. Now we want to make it's like more democratic.
Hi, sir. This is Gautam. I'm from cyber zone, like whatever we are calling
Hyderabad.
Cyberabad. Sorry, I am working in cyber security, so I keep on saying that. So the point is, we are in Nanakram Guda, so we have a large number of high rises are coming. When we are not considering that part, even though you are giving lot of roads, lot of infrastructure, but obviously people are coming on roads and it's going to be load on the roads. So in 1 kilometer radius, how many people are staying and how much roads are there, how much drainage are, this calculation we are missing seriously, sir. This is going to be more impact, and even though your people are honestly trying, but it's never going to be happen if we are not stopping these high-rise apartments in a single area. High-rise, fully high-rise. There is no parks, there is no footpath to walk. People are ready to walk. There is a lot of software employees like me. We are very much ready to walk, to go to the catch the bus, and we are ready to cross the bus. But there is no roads, there is no footpaths to walk also. And a huge amount of 30 acres, which is having each community having 4,000, 5,000 flats. And I bet you like in a 1 kilometer where I'm staying, in coming 2 to 3 years, occupancy is going to be happen 1 lakh apartments. Imagine then what we are going to do. It is a serious matter, sir. If you consider this one, then only we can, all your efforts is going to be worthful.
Yeah, the 1 lakh are selling. They should not to use purchase 1 lakh cars. That is the major thing. They should, as he was mentioning, you want to do. The same thing. There's we want them to use more of public transport, less of the private transport. So that we are encouraging it.
In fact, this is a wonderful point that Sir has raised, that the problem is not with the number of people staying there. The problem is only if the people are owning the cars. That's the problem. So which is again bringing back to the policy item, like I'll give this example from London, that there are huge buildings, but no parking spots, no parking. There are only like 5, 6 parking lots, and those parking lots are not for the CEOs. They are for the handicap and the emergency vehicles. Okay, so but unfortunately, what's happening with our regulation is that we have a minimum parking that is required. There is a law in GHMC that requires minimum amount of parking. The world has switched from minimum parking norms to maximum parking norms. That means that you cannot build more than this amount of parking space. So the moment you reduce the parking space, the number of cars reduces. So I think this is a policy intervention that is required so that people can still build tall. I mean, of course, there will be other problems of drainage and water, which I'm not the subject matter person that we need to go there. But nevertheless, I think if we reduce the parking spaces, in fact, there is a mayoral election in Amsterdam where they are promising in the next year that they're going to reduce 10,000 spots, parking spots on streets when compared to the last year. I mean, last year they already reduced 10,000 and now they're trying to reduce another 10,000. So I think we need to start be able to see the perspective. Density is good when buses are there because buses require a lot of density, more people. Otherwise, if it is spread around, I cannot operate buses reasonably efficiently. But the policy has to support it. Thank you.
So, but just to add to that, then why should the government give permissions for such high-rise buildings? This is happening not only in Nanakram Gura, but something like Banjara Hills, Bailing, there are colleges coming up, business schools. I specifically wanted to request Chairman to speak a bit about city planning because he specifically mentioned about places like Jakarta. But when you look at those places, sir, the high-rise building is specifically in a certain area. The residential houses are in a certain area. The planning is at its best. It's amazing to see the kind of work and effort that you guys are putting in. But it would be really nice to even consider city planning as one of the 100. I'm sure it is there somewhere, but I'd love to hear something about this.
Sir, add to that, every place in Banjara is being made commercial. We don't understand this point. Earlier it was not like
Sorry, there are some people waiting with mics in hand. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, please.
Hi, thank you to the panel. I had one request and one question. My request, of course, is that I personally, and I don't know if people agree, but I hate seeing like Dubai palm trees in the city. And I think that absolutely makes the city less equitable. And I want you guys to do whatever you can to have a city that they don't belong in this ecosystem, and that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. My question is TGSRTC related. A lot of people brought up bus. Bangalore has BMTC, Delhi has its own sort of for the city. Why do we not have that in Telangana? Would having that help us? Just want to hear your perspective on that.
So of course, we have our own RTC, like we call it as RTC, that we all support through RTC in the buses. But yeah, we didn't name for the city as a whole. But like Bangalore is having it, and Mumbai is having it, and Chennai also used to have. But our RTC is like a single corporation. We didn't prepare this one, but we are providing enough buses. Now, as I told before, we're planning to provide enough buses in Q region, that core urban region we call. So in addition to that, what you ask about the POMs, especially that generally in corporation we won't do that, especially the real estate fellow or commercial fellows, they want to project, they may using it. But as a general, we are want to promote more number of indigenous species. Of course, some ornamental species will do that because of the ornamental nature. They may be exotic, but generally we are promoting more of indigenous species of our state. Thank you.
So, question. Yeah. Uh, while the app-based cabs or autos that we're booking and all become saviors during last mile connectivity at metro stations or others, and they provide great convenience also, is there a limit to how many number of cabs can be allowed in a city, or how many number of cabs can be allowed in a route? Would that be a good policy change, or could that be a good rule to put for the app-based cab providers?
Of
Because
course,
I see a lot of cabs
the
that are
cab
taking up a space.
aggregators policy is coming soon, and the transport department is working on it.
Yeah.
You are asking for a cap on the number of cabs
Yes.
roaming in the city.
Yes.
That we are also working on it.
Because I mostly see one person traveling in the cab, especially in the urban population.
course.
That's common. Yeah.
I have one question, sir. So somebody has rightly pointed out that it is priorities, like everything is in priorities. Like you don't give as much importance to pedestrian pathways as you give to flyovers and other projects. So you said both are important. We are giving importance to both. But I don't see you or the GHMC spending hundreds of crores on land acquisition for construction of footpaths. You spend hundreds of crores on land acquisition to construct flyovers and widen the roads without footpaths. So there is definitely, priorities come into picture.
So I do agree. Certain times the amount of money we spend on flyover looks very exorbitant, but as a whole, we spend on road widening is a part of footpath. Footpath is also a part of the road. When you do road widening, definitely will ensure there'll be a footpath into it. But the KBR Park, yeah.
There is no way you can construct another footpath because you have to go into the park.
The KBR Park is a different, it's together because KBR Park after the eco-sensitive zone, then a footpath. And whatever flyovers we are doing it on KBR Park, it is on the median of the road. It's like there is a median on the road both sides. That we are using it use. And KBR Park, whatever, there's a lot of misconception is there that is on the, we are going to construct in the eco-sensitive zone. Just within subjudice, still subjudice, I can still put it on record. Whatever we are doing, the flyovers and underpass, it is in the middle of the road. And we are not touching any trees inside the park, also in the national park also. Footpath will definitely ensure. Once it comes, will definitely ensure this one. There will be footpath all around KBR Park as it is.
They are removing now, sir.
Right now, we're removing. We know that we're removing because of construction activity. They're going construction activities happening. Once it's done, definitely footpath will be allowed all along the park. We'll do that. Definitely do that.
So one question, as panelists allowed to ask a question. No. If I may, sorry. Yeah. You can start in the please carry your question. So maybe I'm So my question as trying to understand policy and understand decision making is, have we studied alternatives? Like how did we come to a conclusion that something is required, some infrastructure or something is required? Have we exhausted all other possibilities and come here, or is it decided that we are going to do this? So that's an important, I mean,
I can understand what you're saying. Actually, I told you, we own roads, we also own traffic lights. So all the traffic lights, around 400 traffic lights across the entire Q region, is owned by GHMC, of course maintained by traffic police. So we do have all the data. So we know which road, which traffic is going based on our traffic light study. Traffic lights, they do record the data, flow of vehicles and everything. And we also try to understand the different alternate mechanism, different way of how to regulate the traffic, whether to go for a one way. All these things work with the traffic department, then we'll come with engineering solution. We may look, we'll suddenly come up with the plan. The plan needs lot of DPR we do, lot of options, alternate options we try to do. Then we also try to do the economics out of it. After that, we'll come with the plan. So we did lot of traffic studies. Whatever we are doing, the HCT projects is based on the traffic studies and data captured by our own traffic signals across the entire city.
Just 1 second, sir, just 1 second. There are at least 12 hands that have come up. If the panel is willing, short questions. Can we take these 10 questions? Would that be all right? And then we call it a day. Is that okay?
No, I would like to answer each and every question and then only leave.
So, yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe we could just pool a couple of questions and give it together, then it would be much faster that way. Yes, but every question will be answered. Every voice will be heard. If people want to leave, they can leave. So yeah, we will do it. But maybe we could just pool a few questions to make it faster.
So, I'm very happy that livability is being addressed in this city, which is the most important one. Now, historically, Hyderabad has suffered floods in 1908. Yeah, in 1908, when there was huge floods in Hyderabad, Sir Vishwesvaraya was commissioned, and he has certain solutions by building few lakes. Until now, even after a century, we are still safe from floods. Whereas now high-tech city and all these areas have developed only in 2-3 decades, but now we are suffocating with so many problems. So planning is a very, very important one. That just now, as one of our question was regarding the road area, very, very vital, because planning is lacking. So today, unfortunately, Hyderabad is notorious for being the first in methane emissions, highest in India, and fourth in the world. This is as per media reports. So I request that planning be given and implementation again. There are so many deviations. J.S. Ranjanji heading the technology. See, even today on the road, yeah, just a minute. For the pothole detection also, we are using AI. Better use it also for deviations and people who are flouting number of floors and all that. With these things, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, panelists. So my name's Nihal, and I'm actually from Singapore. I'm a citizen over there. I came here to study. So my question, firstly, was that all of you talked about how Singapore is a case example, and Mr. Jayesh talked about how convergence is needed and how flyovers, buses, and policy has to be used together. However, even if you were to put all three together, if people are not willing to change, is it going to be useful? Because, for example, when Ratan Tata brought the Nano, people were simply too prideful to use such a cheap car. So again, if we bring across public transport, and even if it's cheap, the upper class of Hyderabadis, what if their pride is not willing willing to take such public transport? So what is going to be done about that?
Can we put a cap
on number of cars per family?
One more question on that side, then we'll come to this side.
Uh, Hi. I have a couple of questions, but I'll stick to one. This whole issue that we discussed today appears to be solving the problem for, let's say, what we have now. So my question is, do you think these solutions will last for 50 years and we will have a comfortable city henceforth? The past doesn't show us that. So my suggestion to Jayesh sir was that, as you mentioned those five core areas, many of them have mentioned, planning is where I think we are failing in a big way. And if that could be addressed, because as a citizen, I would like to make sure that I'm going to live in a city for the coming 40 years in a comfortable way, not just solving the problem for now.
Uh, can I please? I'll just finish.
Let's answer these 4 questions and then
we'll come back.
One was, will there be a cap on cars? Are we considering
So, yeah, so I'll answer some of them and then I'd request my colleagues also to add. So, I'll take the last question first. See, this is again a very important aspect which came during the visioning exercise, the Telangana Rising exercise. So, while someone spoke about the carrying capacity of roads, there's also a carrying capacity of the whole city. And it is very, very clear that we have far exceeded it. But we cannot deny, I mean, that is the reality, that people will continue to come to bigger cities like Hyderabad, Bombay, Delhi. So what is the solution? In fact, the solution has been discussed for almost 20, 30 years, which is the concept of satellite townships. Let the city be left intact. You can't take more people. But if more people are coming, what do you do? So instead of allowing unplanned kind of sprawl, which is typically what is happening in the country, can we have townships close by? So in the vision exercise that we have done, we have identified that in the coming 10 years, 5 satellite townships will come up. And the first one is at an advanced planning stage, which is called the Bharat Future City. It's a large township. Satellite townships have been tried in the past. It is not to say that what we are doing is the very original, for the first time tested idea. In fact, many satellite townships have been tried out, but they have failed miserably. So we have learned from their experiences. In fact, there are many townships between Bombay and Pune. One of the most visible and prominent example is called the Ambi Valley. But it did not take off for various reasons. So we have understood what it takes to make a successful township, and that is the model that we are emulating. So when you asked about how can we ensure that these solutions work for 40 years, this set of solutions will be replaced by another set of solutions, which is to create more satellite townships and take the new population. So today, many of us have seen it before our own eyes, that what is called as the CBD has shifted. The CBD earlier was this Abbots, Nampalli, Koti. It shifted to Banjara Hills, Jubilee Hills. It shifted to Gachibowli, Madhapur. Now it is shifting to a new place which is called Kokapet, Neopolis, and it will continue to shift. So these are trends which happen organically. It is not that I mean something has forced things to move in a particular way. So that since people are used to moving from this CBD over a period of a decade or a couple of decades to the next, to the next, to the next, we see a very strong likelihood of these new satellite townships taking root, offering this kind of quality of life and problem-free living as has been envisaged. A very good example is in Bombay, which is the Navi Mumbai concept. I know for sure that if you live in Navi Mumbai, there is no requirement for you to come to Mumbai. I mean, everything that you require is available in Navi Mumbai. So that is the way we are planning. Now, to take other questions very rapidly. So this possibility that we limit the car, 1 car per family, this is a good idea, but the time has not come for this idea. But the time has come for something else, which is practiced in Singapore. I also stayed there for 1 year. I was a student there. So in Singapore, the second car ownership, in fact, the first car ownership itself as he rightly pointed out, there's a lottery system, there's an auction system. Only X number of new cars are released per year. So, but one reform which they have done, which we have also started, is to charge heavily the tax on the second car to be charged heavily. You may own the first car at a reasonable rate, but when you buy a second car, the charges go up disproportionately high. This rule is there on paper for many years, but there was lots of leakages in this system. Like I buy a first car, the second car is in my wife's name, the third car is in my father's name, and so on and so forth. So it would evade that scrutiny. Now we have, again, as I mentioned about technology, we have created a technology through which when you buy a second car, whether you or your immediate family members own a first car or not is automatically detected using this technology which we call Citizens 360 degree. I mean, there are other issues about this application, but it has helped us in plug all these leakages. So for the next decade or so, maybe this is the solution, that you levy huge taxes on the second car, third car, and then, of course, any of the points which we have been discussing from the beginning of this panel till now, as I mentioned again and again and again, these are not mutually exclusive. You penalize, but you also reduce parking, you encourage carpooling, you improve public transport. See, all of these solutions need to go together. That is the fundamental point which I want everyone to understand. There is no one single magic bullet. Of course, there's prioritizing, as I explained myself, there are multiple solutions, but what I want to push in the next 3 to 6 months is this. But it doesn't mean that I won't do anything else. I mean, I'll do this for the first 3 to 6 months. Some other initiatives will also start, but some more will happen as months and years go by. Then the question on what was the other question? No, so behavior change again happens. So as I mentioned to you a while ago, that we are prioritizing two aspects. One is traffic, one is sanitation or solid waste management. So I'm sure all of you will agree that the state of solid waste management is also not perfect in our city. And a large reason for that is the behavior of throwing garbage or littering and things like that. So, and not segregating and so on and so forth. So, in fact, for the last 2 hours before I came here, we were discussing exactly this, that how do you bring a sense of responsibility. So there's an NGO which works in Hyderabad. It is actually called Pheko Mat. I mean, don't throw. So that organization has studied for years altogether the reasons why people litter. And today they were there in the meeting and they explained why do people litter and what can be done to control that. So, when they explained everything, it did not look unachievable at all. I mean, we speak about some behaviors coming culturally for generations. I mean, these kind of comments are made that Indians are like this only, nothing will change. Why compare with Singapore? That's a different world. But as he would agree, and as you pointed out, when Singapore became independent, the scenario of Singapore was worse than, let us say, Bihar or Eastern UP or Haryana and so on and so forth. But they were successful in changing the behavior. So let us not feel despondent about it. There are solutions and we will go there.
Anybody else from the panel would like to speak?
Excuse me, sir. In Hyderabad, there is no lane discipline on the road, which is most important thing, I feel. So I'm Ravindra Acharya, retired principal. And that can be taught only. It cannot be learned self. While giving licenses, they should be given handover to the transport department only, not to send to the home. And a half an hour, 1 hour class should be taken. Then you can charge them. That is most important thing that can, and we don't have a system of standing on the queue before say, getting into the buses. You will find still on, today in Bombay that. That is the most important thing. While giving permissions, what is the size of the road? What is the density of the population? How many apartments we are giving permission? That should be taken care, because there is a correlation between. Regarding one thing, recently when a global capability center came, that is Mr. Uber, they bought a property for rent for 750 crores for 10 years, 10 floors in my area, from Kajagoda to Narsingi. And they're all high-rise buildings are there. In future, after 30 years, 20, if you want to widen the road also, you cannot do it, because all 50 floors buildings are coming in front of my flats also. They are doing, there is ORR service road, there is another service road is there. They are occupying that also. They are occupied to footpath also. They erected their barricades, taking the all electric poles into inside. How can you widen the road? And they are not going back even 5 inches also. Who will take care of this? HMD is giving permission. Municipality doesn't have that much power to control them. Who will control? So many buildings are doing the same thing, same thing. That should we are working for that area since 1 year, and Muski Lake also we tried with HMD and we stopped them and all those things. Please take care. These are very, very important thing. Giving permission is different. And at a residential area, another Sandhya convention people, they are bringing, just let me, please, 1 minute, 1 second. Another big mall also going to come there. Please take care.
Yeah. There are some cost-effective solutions which could be, yeah, mainly for Mr. Karan perhaps. There are some cost-effective solutions which could be implemented right away. And I am putting this forward. You may just record it, sir. You may or may not answer me. But what I'm echoing, I'm sure it will also motivate the youngsters around here to come up with some innovative solutions. Now, why can't Hyderabad implement, like Biocon did in Bangalore, what is known as the corporate commute nudge? It's a tech-driven behavioral change initiative designed to shift Biocon employees away from single occupancy personal vehicles towards sustainable public transport. Right. I am not going to read the whole thing, but finally, what is the benefit for the Biocon? It translates individual commute choices directly into their ESG compliance data. Right, number one. Number two, it's billboards in Bangalore. Successfully, they have removed all those. There are no commercial advertisement billboards, and also those big political cutouts, no. It's a classic example of a great collaboration and cooperation, coordination among everybody, including the corporates, came on the same page. So this is a good, we can take a leaf out of that. We can straight away go for, if at all we want to do regulated digital signboards or whatever it is in Hyderabad, we can regulate. Thirdly, the very important point, why can't, I am for Hydra. I'm not getting into the systemic deficit, whatever is there. There we got to have, when we have implemented, when you have got an enforcement agency like Hydra, which is very good initiative according to me, why can't you have that kind of enforcement on the road? Why can't we have police in plain clothes and just catch those fellows who are breaking the rules, lane discipline, and overspeeding, and also removing those silencers and creating havoc in the night also. Similarly, but I'm putting just points. Last point. Last point. No, only one point. No, this, okay.
As an organizer, I'm taking this step.
80% of the schools.
Everybody needs a chance. Thank you. It's still a democracy.
Just to take Jayesh's thing about HMTA, that's Hyderabad Metropolitan Transport Authority. So I had the opportunity to work in Delhi in this area. So to begin with, all these issues which are there, can a report be brought out as using that as the baseline thing of pedestrian, walkability, buses, cars, and then how is the funding that's going to happen? Based on your plans for the future city and everything, how are you going to spend this money next year, which is visible for every person? Because this is always a debatable proposition on this is not there, that's not there, this is there, this is there. Can this be brought in? So base annual report of commuting in Hyderabad. And then what are the budgets? And who is going to give, how much is RTC going to spend? How much is GHMC going to spend? How much is coming from the state government? Or Are you getting any special body like the future city to develop? All on commuting. And then the statistics, as you said, technology is very much there. You have car aggregators, you have wearables, you have all kinds of devices which you have, which can help people know as to what is the average distance a person is taking in terms of walking, commuting. If these are there, then it becomes much clearer for us to plan going ahead. Thank you.
Sir, I request the authorities to create a platform wherein which the people who are doing the commuting with a vehicle, they'll be given an opportunity where these people are going ahead, so that the authorities can give them the track route. So within what specific time that these people will be able to finish. Create a platform where I'm the vehicle owner, I'm going to, so you people are going to give me the guidance for me at what time that I need to start, within how much time, where the route I can take up. So create a platform in that. And the other thing what I suggest you is for this one, for the freedom of right to work on the roads. Sir, you people are giving for every Malgi a labor license, but you are not ensuring that these people have gotten proper drain facility. When these people wash their this malgi and all, these people are going to throw the water onto the roads where you will have the small pits. That itself is creating a lot of problem. And the other thing what I suggest you, sir, when it comes for this Pani Puri people fellows, these people doesn't have a drain facility. These people, at the end of the day, these people going to throw that water onto the roadside. And the people who are commuting on that way, that's becoming very hurdle. And not only the Pani Puris, especially this chicken center people and then this tiffin center people. Yeah, just you make an audit for these people.
So I'm just going to take the last senior citizens question. There are at least 15 young people waiting. So Sangamitra, you have the honor to close the senior citizens. Over to the panel and then the young people.
Well, I'm indeed a senior citizen, thanks to all the panel. Having come here in 1966, and I'm observing Hyderabad, the change in these 60 years. Now, my main concern is the KVR Park. I'm extremely concerned about this 390 acres park, and I really don't see how 7 flyovers and 7 of these underpasses are going to come that way, because they could ruin the park. And if our population has increased from 17 lakhs in 1966 to 1 crore 17 lakhs now, we need that park. All of us need the park. Buses, vehicles, everything is there, but we need the park. And I request all of you to please see that the park is there and everything that's there, the birds, the animals, and everything, they have a right to live. They have a right to live. We don't see them around us. At least let them be there. There's a ridge in that park which is very, very important with the rain falling and coming down. So that is the main thing. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to say something. And this is the ribbon from 2016. I'm holding on to it.
This is called dictatorship of the microphone.
Oh dear.
Sir,
It's democratic equity, sir.
I'm taking 1 minute. I'm taking 1 minute, although I have no thanks. The private sector can do miracles. You have been a student, I have been a student. If it was not for the private sector, we would not have learned how to program a computer. And India would not have given birth to a whole generation of programmers who are supplying the world. So don't ignore what the private sector can do. And the 5 proposals I have, I will not talk about them here, but none of them cost a paisa of government money. The government cannot pay the RTC people. You see today's Deccan Chronicle, they don't have the money to pay. The private sector will bring in the money. Thank you, sir. I will, Prashant, I will see you and we'll discuss it, and you have an entry with the government.
We have some youngsters wanting to ask.
Yeah.
Shall we answer some of these questions first? Just give a minute.
Start with ma'am again. It's the last question done by asked by her about KBR Park. Ma'am, we are again retreating again. We are not touching any single inch of land in KBR Park and the eco-sensitive zone. Whatever flyover is coming and underpass is coming on the GHMC road is just away from the KBR Park. It's not going to affect the KBR Park at any cost. I'm being a background is a forester. It's a national park. National park will be remain intact, and all the flora and fauna definitely will be protected there. That the assurance I can give you. Another assurance, the suggestions given by someone is about lane discipline and traffic. And transport department has come up with a new license methodology. Like before getting into LLR license and driving license, you have to undergo minimum 3 hours of training in online training program. And the facial recognition one you have to do on your own. You have to see videos, you have to attend quizzes, and you have to pass the test. Then only we can apply to go for LLR license. That way we are making sure that the proper lane discipline starts from the right from the LLR license application itself. That's the one thing I want to tell you. And in addition to that, someone is about cost-effective solutions. They have told us definitely the corporate nudge done by Biocon. Definitely will try to adapt our Cyberabad. Hexar is already in touch with a few IT MNCs. We'll be definitely doing this fun. So next questions to youngsters, please.
Hello. Yeah.
I'll just speak a little bit about lane discipline. So again, it's a nice coincidence. Today morning itself, I chaired an important meeting about how to minimize or prevent accidents on the outer ring road, and we had a very useful discussions. The agency, the concessionaire which manages outer ring road, they showed to us live data from June and July, and it was seen that only 8% of the vehicles which plied on outer ring road, there's a phenomena which is called lane straddling. Like you're not going in your dedicated lane, you are occupying half of this lane and half of that lane. So the data showed was that only 8% of the vehicles were doing this lane straddling. 92% of the vehicles followed the lane discipline. So this is a very good insight that on the outer ring road, if 92% of the vehicles are following lane discipline, why can't they follow in the rest of the city? So this is a very kind of, in my opinion, a very useful insight to understand what is working there and how to bring the same learnings to rest of the city. But lane discipline is an important issue. See, I mentioned about 5 buckets. I missed out on telling a other important bucket, but it's not directly relevant to what we have been discussing, but it's also a very, very important aspect which relates to road safety. I mean, how do you ensure that roads are safe? Particularly, we have seen so many pedestrians getting hit, so many cyclists getting hit, rash driving, over speeding, drunk driving, and of course, cutting across lanes and so on.
Engineering angle to lane discipline. One of the reasons that people don't follow lanes is not because they don't know how to drive, but because there is too much space. So once you reduce the number of lanes, people start going in order. People will not do reverse driving. So there is a lot of reverse driving in Hyderabad and many other cities. The moment you constrict the passage, the order comes in. So that is what is required. That is about lane discipline. Second, corporate incentives, of course, that is Jayesh and Sir's domain, and I think he'll definitely do that. Third is, sorry, I think my autocorrect has messed it up, but about mode share projections and vision, I think this is, sir, very important point. When we start doing all our plans, do we have an idea of what the mode share should be 10 years down the lane? And I think are our plans aligning to that is something that we should do. Then the last one was on data. Somebody asked. I think if we are able to bring in some kind of open data, like whatever data that we have on traffic from traffic signals, from RTC, from buses, metro, this could be anonymized and opened up. And I think a lot of innovation can come in from those things is my opinion. Thank you.
I'll quickly provide two pieces of information. One is that the report that someone spoke about, HUMTA has commissioned a very detailed study on precisely what you asked for: commute, what is the modal usage currently, where do we want to take it over the 10 years, and in about a couple of months' time, that report will be ready. We'll be happy to share and publish it. Secondly, this data which you asked for, traffic data, metro rail data, bus data, all that is available to people. You just need to go to this particular website or portal called opendata.telangana.gov.in. And all of this data, including daily movement of buses, Uber's data, Ola's data, and metro rail data, MMTS data, all that is available. There's no login, there is no password, everything is available.
Just one point that I'd like to bring. The Sustainable Development Goals, in fact, highlight the importance of both good urban planning and green spaces. So environment and development are need not be in two separate opposite camps. Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to thank the organizer for the initiative to allow the young people in the audience to speak, but I wanted to introduce them. We're from the Aga Khan Academy in Hyderabad. I have over 15 students with me, all of which are studying global politics, and we've been looking at issues of urbanization. And they're here because this young generation is the future of the city, and they all have burning questions to ask about the future of the city. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I'll be very short. It'll sound like a poem. So I came to Hyderabad last year. First week here, I started living in Srinagar Colony. Wanted to go to Lumbini Park. Took the metro, got off at Lakdigapul, started walking, walked through garbage, sewage, barking dogs, barely a footpath, completely on the road all the time. At Lumbini Park, I waited for the pedestrian signal to turn green. Waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I realized the signal does not turn green for pedestrians at all. All the ITMS, Intelligent Traffic Management junctions in the city do not turn green for pedestrians at all. You have to cross a red light illegally. At Mugda Junction on road number 2 Banjara Hills, I have to cross it every day. The opposite lane, being a T junction, gets a free straight. So there is no legal way for me to cross. I kid you not, I have to beg for my life, praying that everyone is paying attention to cross that road. All the ITMS. KBR Park gets 2 free lefts. I have to beg in the rain that the driver, I hope, is paying attention so that I don't get hit. At LV Prasad signal, the foot over bridge, escalators don't work. I see partially blind people coming throughout Telangana, not being able to navigate their way. And handicap is a big issue. I am a completely abled person and I have to pray every day to cross the street. So please, I wrote to the traffic commissioner, Mr. Karan, you are in CC. He wrote back to me that pedestrian signals cannot be turned green due to traffic constraints. I have the email in my pocket right now. And if that is the condition that you say pedestrian first and I get replies like that, in all the images, for every 100 meters of continuous walkable footpath, I will pay 100 rupees to any NGO of your choice. You say 60 kilometers, Hyderabad has a network of 9,000 kilometers of roads. 60 kilometers is not even 0.5, close to 0.5%. It is pathetic, to be honest. It is negligent and apathetic, and if you say you want people using the metro, using the bus, walkability is the pillar, it is the foundation. I do not see a single footpath I can't walk out of here right now without, again, navigating between vehicles. So if that is a start, no city in the country or in the world has such apathetic towards pedestrians and walkability. I please implore you, that will reduce the traffic by 50% outright if even half the roads in Hyderabad are footpaths.
Hello. So private cars carry less than 10% of Hyderabad's daily commuters, yet they occupy a majority of the road space during peak hours, only exacerbating traffic congestion. in light of that, isn't spending hundreds of crores on building new flyovers and widening roads an inefficient use of taxpayer money compared to smart operational fixes like special bus lanes and also improving the number of buses? So, from a system-wide perspective, why are we prioritizing engineering roads for private cars instead of engineering transit capacity for people? For people?
Hi, my question is to R.V. Karnan, sir. How is GHMC using AI, geographic information system, and other data-driven technologies to improve urban mobility and traffic management within Hyderabad?
Hello, sir. Sir, have you considered the bus rapid transport system during the congestion times? You know, so you can move the buses, or at least on certain roads, you can study this. Second thing is that the aggregators or the cabs or the commercial vehicles, they are running their engines for 14 hours a day. So roughly, they are spewing out 10 times the exhaust as a ordinary private vehicle. So can you require all the new cabs or commercial vehicles to be electric vehicles?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ritvik. So a lot of people here, including the panel, has requested the citizens to use public transport and also, like walk around to places which are nearby. But I will ask the panel if the public transport and the walking places are not clean enough and don't meet the basic hygiene requirements for normal person to walk around. How do people walk around in like garbage, or how do they walk around through stuff that's thrown around? So how does the government expect people to do stuff when they're not willing to clean roads? And what's the point of building new flyovers or new roads without cleaning the basic ones? And if they're not able to maintain the public transport cleanliness or the road cleanliness, like what's the point of building new roads and telling people that we're doing something that to manage the traffic and all?
Good evening. My name is Humaira. I'm a student. According to goals set by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, for smart cities, public transit data should be open and live. As students cannot track public transport reliably, what policies will you implement to force transport agencies to share this data with the public? Thank you.
Okay, otherwise I will let them finish, we can share and all these things.
Yeah. I have a really short and simple question. If how would you attract people to choose public transport over private transport? Because for me, if you ask any person in Hyderabad, they would obviously choose private transport because it's more comfortable, because it's more luxurious. I mean, they even pay for it, but it's more comfortable than even public transport. It's even more cleaner, as he mentioned. How would you attract people to like choose public transport? That's my question.
Okay, my name is Harush, and I think that not only the roads are not maintaining hygiene, but I think it's also the like commutes, like buses and everything. Suppose RTC. So like, shouldn't we make our first priority in funding for the quality of the existing commutes, like buses and all, while building on the numbers? So personally, I believe that people tend to use private transports because they think buses are not good enough and they do not maintain enough hygiene. And also, I think we should work on more like the quality of like the roads and everything, like the facilities and the commutes.
Shall we not have repeat questions?
Yeah.
If it's been asked, then hand it over to somebody else.
Yeah, initially I was asking around a similar area, but to bring another perspective into this entire panel discussion, as a resident of Banjara Hills, I know that Banjara Hills is considered as amongst the first corridor to focus on for, I think, road widening, especially around the Jagannath temple. My one question is, for let's say the construction that's going on, so most of the road is occupied and turnings are still blocked for construction. I want to ask, what can we do now to avoid congestion on that road? Because this is not an immediate thing. It will take time to create underground and certain other roads over there. So what can we do now to avoid the traffic that we are having for that construction?
Did you ask earlier?
Thank you. My question is, one of the solutions today mentioned is to high charge, to put high charge on car, on private car. But I feel like in that situation, if people can pay money, they don't have to care about environment. So I want to ask, do you think it's acceptable, or even no, how do you address the issue?
Can I just add one concern to all the list of concerns that the students have made clear is that while using public transport and while using roads and streets, the gender angle cannot be ignored. Yeah, the safety angle cannot be ignored. So please keep that in mind also when you're answering. Yeah.
Bit to it. I'm sorry, as a panelist, I probably should not, but street lights. I would love to walk, but if not for the fact that every dog in the lane knows me, I would be too scared to walk. And, we really need to make sure we have streets that are safe for women. We are 50% of the population, and most of us are just too scared to step out.
Before Sir concludes, I just want to add few things like they're asking about first specific question about GHMC about how we use AI for traffic management. Of course, we are in touch with Google and we are working on them to, especially with traffic police, to give them real-time alert and real-time any construction activities going on, a traffic diversion is going on, that we are using it. And we also do AA on our databases, like someone was mentioning about how do you know deviation happening in the building plans. We do have a drone image of the entire city. We do know what is the each building floor, which floor and how much the area of the building, everything, and comparing with our building plan. We do know all the details, and we do help us in using AI for increasing our property tax collection also, that we do that. In addition to that, everybody is specific about the transport, public transport, the hygiene and hygiene environment in the public transport is not up to the mark. So that also we're working on it, and somebody was asking about why so many vehicles who are not electric is allowed to not allowed to that, for especially in commercial vehicles. So do we have a policy right now in the entire Q region? We want to migrate all the existing petrol and diesel vehicles to EV vehicles. That's another one of the main agenda in our next plan. And in addition to that, I just want to add, most important thing is like about footpath. Is a very, very important thing. We want to give importance to pedestrians. And after the recent Supreme Court judgments, definitely we want to access our footpath to pedestrians, and we make our road very safe, especially for the pedestrians. Of course, we do have issues of this traffic management, especially the pelican signals, and we are working on with the traffic police, and definitely will improve, especially for the pedestrian movement. And asking about street lights, of course, we going for an entire Q region and very smart LED-based street light management. We went for a tender. Definitely, within a month, we'll see a visible change across the entire street lights. And of course, we do take care of dog menace also. So like that, GHMC is the one organization we take care of citizens all day-to-day activities, whether it is like you may be dog lover, dog hater, or flyover lover, flyover hater, whatever it is there, we do meet all across the people here, and do definitely, and we want to make a balance. As Manam was mentioning, we should maintain a balance between environment and development. In addition to that, whatever human-related activities are doing it, gender neutrality is the most important aspect of GHMC. And GHMC, being GHMC, our corporate is more than 50% in GHMC. So we do give importance to do gender neutrality, and I hope really I do enjoy conversing with everyone, the fellow panelists, and also the questions raised by students and the senior citizens. Really, I thank once again moderator and Goethe for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
I'm really happy to hear the kind of questions that have come from the students. I suppose most of them don't have driving licenses. Am I right to assume that? You all have driving? Huh? You're all right. So you see, the perspective of a person who has a driving license and who drives, and a person who does not, is entirely different. And I think, most of the decision makers here, either we have access to a car or we drive ourselves, whether it is a political setup or the decision makers or the engineers in GHMC or other. I think that is where the bias is coming. Until we understand most women don't have driving licenses, even now, even in a city like Hyderabad. We are affecting their entire chance for livelihood, and we are affecting their freedom. So transport is not just about going from point A to point B. In fact, a good transport system will just change the way people think about life and their neighborhood. So I think all these things need to be coming into perspective when we make our decisions. And the biggest concern that is coming up is, how are you deciding the priority of these investments? Why first flyover and why not public transport? Because at least last 15 years, we are staying at the same 3,000 buses. So instead of the flyovers around KBR or even the HCT project, can we first work on the buses and then see if the flyovers are even required? Because a person traveling in a bus occupies 2 square meters of space. A person going by motorbike occupies 6 to 7 square meters of space on the road. A person going by car occupies 13 to 15 square meters. So once we put enough number of buses on the road, maybe we will not even require any of these flyovers that we are talking about. And the contrary, once we put the flyovers, we'll not be able to bring buses in the way that people want. I think these things need to be thought about, and hopefully this conversation will lead to those thought processes, I'm hoping. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for being such a participatory audience. This is exactly what we hoped would happen. Because this is something that is of importance to everybody. I thank all the panelists individually for sharing your different perspectives. And most of all, I thank Goethe-Zentrum for allowing us the space to have a conversation which is so important. And which we have rarely had in this manner. And I hope this is the first of many. Thank you so much.